Hello, and thank you guys for tuning in to Heavenly Sent Conversations. My topic is tonight we're going to talk to a content creator, young lady named Megan. And so on this show, we bring on heavenly sent people I think you guys should know. And so I deal with a variety of individuals from publicists to authors to content creators to business owners, any and everything that makes sense to bring to the live TV station, right? So with that being said, I have the pleasure of introducing Miss Megan Murphy. And so, real short, Miss Murphy, can you give my viewers a little glimpse at who you are and what you do?
Hey, Cynthia. Thanks for having me on your show, first of all.
Absolutely.
And who I am and what I do. Let's see. I'm a 39-year-old actress from Alabama, and that's where I'm currently living, is a small town in southern Alabama. Although I did used to live in New York City for 6 years in the past. Um, I've been pursuing acting professionally for about 20 years now. I'm I'm working with an agent here in Alabama now, and she's sending me for auditions for TV, film, and theater.
Nice.
And then last year, I decided to start my own show, and I decided to call it the Aunt Nene Show, which was inspired by my 7-year-old nephew who calls me Aunt Nene. And it's a show on YouTube. It's a variety show for kids. For example, I sing songs, I tell stories, we do jokes, there's educational content, and more. And sometimes the more part is that sometimes we go to different destinations and explore different places. Like we had one that was Aunt Nene Goes to the Beach, and we had Aunt Nene Goes to New York City
Yep.
because I actually went back there last year and my producer helped me film an episode in New York City. And
Wow.
we're also bringing on special guest stars. Um, we had our first special guest like 2 weeks ago, and he was a guy who was a circus performer and trapeze artist.
Really?
And so I did like a little 3-minute interview with him, and he told me what it's like to work in the circus and stuff like that. And yeah, so I'm working with two different producers now, and they're helping me make season 2 and season 3. I think we're in season 3 now. I lost count. I don't really keep track of it. I just call it season 2 and 3, but we've done like we're almost at our 50th episode, I think. I
Wow.
lost count. I haven't checked to see how many episodes there were.
Oh, wow. How cool.
But
I
but
like that individual, the circus
mhm.
guy. I'd like to meet him.
You can watch the episode on my YouTube channel.
Okay. Awesome. I love it. Man, you got a lot going on, Megan.
Yeah, I've been pretty busy the last about year and 3 or 4 months now.
Awesome. So let me ask you this: what have you played in any movies that's on Netflix at the movie theater, or tell us about some of the acts that you've been in?
Um, I played Maria. I did a lot of theater.
Oh,
Okay. In 2012, I played Maria in The Sound of Music in a community theater production here in Alabama.
okay.
And then, literally, right after that ended in April of 2012, I moved to New York City. And, when I got to New York, I had big dreams. I had big expectations. I thought, like, oh, I'll be on Broadway within a year. I was all cocky and stuff, but that didn't happen. But I did come a lot further. When in the 6 years that I lived there, I came a lot further than I thought I would from where I started from, if that makes sense.
Indeed.
I became a member of both actors' unions, SAG-AFTRA and Actors Equity, and I got to perform sketch comedy with a off-Broadway theater troupe in New York.
Nice.
That was probably the highlight
I'm
of
sure.
my time in New York because that's what I love to do is comedy.
Oh, you do comedy too?
And I did a lot of, well, not like stand up comedy, like sketch comedy and
Gotcha.
comedic roles,
Nice. I love it.
scripted.
I love it. I love it. So, out of
hmm
all the things that you've mentioned, which one do you give the most attention to?
Mm, well, I was about to tell you about the children's plays that I did,
Please
like
do.
theater for children in New York. I did Cinderella and The Wizard of Oz, and then another version of Cinderella at a different theater company, but
Wow.
it was all children's theater. And so when I decided to create my own show on YouTube, I knew that it had to be a children's show because I have a lot of experience working with kids. First of all, I used to be a summer camp counselor for many years,
Nice.
and I have a lot of younger cousins and my nephew now that I helped babysit when they were babies. I still babysit my nephew. He's 7, but the other ones are all grown up now. But anyway, so I knew that it had to be a kids show because that was some. I'm only good at 2 things: acting and taking care of children. I don't have any kids of my own, by the way. Just wanted to say that. But I just wanted to do something that was gonna be something wholesome and good for the kids, rather than all of the junk TV that's on TV for kids nowadays. You know what I mean? I wanted to do something that would be healthy for kids' brains and minds and hearts and everything.
Absolutely.
And I wanted to inspire the kids to find their talents and find their gifts and go out into the world and.
Wow. So, give us your hashtags for your YouTube channel.
Okay, my YouTube channel is my name, Megan Claire Murphy, and the number 2. That's Megan Claire Murphy 2, or it's at mmurphy 47208. I put the link in the chat.
Thank you.
Um, and I'm also on Facebook under the name Megan Claire Murphy. If you want to contact me, and if anybody wants to contact me, they can message me on Facebook or comment on my YouTube videos.
I love it. I love it. Wow. You've I can see why you've been busy
Mm-hmm.
for the duration of the year. So let me ask you this. So as a content creator, do you just come up with ideas or do you have like a notepad where you just, jot
Mm-hmm.
down your ideas and what your next episode may be?
Well, a lot of the material for the show comes from things that I already knew. Like a lot of the songs that I sing on the show were songs that I used to sing at Girl Scout camp growing up.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like most of the songs on there, or songs that I used to sing in school when I was a kid. Like we did the I like to eat apples and bananas. You might have heard of that one.
Yes, I have.
We did that one um a couple of months ago. And a lot of the, as far as coming up with ideas now, my 2 producers and I work together to brainstorm ideas for the show. For example, they helped me come up with the idea of having a Halloween spooktacular episode this year. So we're going to have that in October, and I don't want to give away too much because it's still in the process of being um it's not finalized yet. You know what I mean?
I love it. I
We
love it.
haven't decided exactly what we're going to do for it, but
So let me ask you this. What are some of your biggest challenges?
um continuing to come up with ideas,
Okay.
because sometimes it'll get to be like the week before and I'm like, oh no, what am I going to do for next week's episode? I got to come up with something. I got to sing a song or something. And then I talk to my producers. I'm like, guys, what should I do?
Hilarious. And it's funny you made mention of of kids because I actually have a youth program and it's called Heavenly Sent Youth where I expose
Hmm.
kids to different. It's a mentoring enrichment program. Um, we do STEM related activities. I teach them. We do workshops, conflict and resolution. We do social media awareness. We do workshops with the parents. We do any and everything you could think of. Kids interested in culinary, basketball,
Hmm.
football, soccer, archery, canoeing, swimming, and any and every volleyball, racquetball, anything in between. Because we understand that uh, for where I come from, it's hard for a kid to dream what they can't see. So exposure is everything. And so the more exposure, it broadens the horizon mentally for the kids. And so I commend
Mhm.
you for that. And you may mention that you worked in, I think, did you say Girl Scout?
Yeah, I used to work at a Girl Scout camp. I used to be a summer camp counselor, and I used to be a lifeguard there too.
Oh wow.
I used to teach swimming and canoeing lessons
How
as
about
part of my lifeguard job
now? So when did you get started with your YouTube channel?
in March of last year,
Okay.
March of 2023.
And how many followers do you currently have?
Last time I checked, which was a couple hours ago, I had 566 subscribers.
Awesome. How often do you where do you post, or should I, like, for instance, what does your marketing look like?
Well, right now we're still trying to figure out the marketing. Right now, I just post everything on YouTube and Facebook.
Okay.
Um, there's a new episode every Saturday, once a week on Saturday mornings.
Okay.
So I always post it on YouTube. If you subscribe,
Nice.
you should subscribe so you won't miss it.
That was my next question. I asked you how often do you post or schedule your episodes? And so do you pre-record or everything is right on the fly?
It's pre-recorded.
Got it. Makes everything that much
Mhm.
easier, right?
Yeah. That I have a one of my producers is also does all the editing. Well, I do some of the editing, but he does the rest of the editing, and he's really good. And it's good that I have the ability. I have someone who can edit the raw footage for me because that way, if you make a mistake, you can just go back and do it again or cut it out of you know. It's easier that way.
I love it. Can you share with us your first video YouTube upload experience?
Well, the first it was a song. It was the first okay. For the Aunt Nene show, I did a song for the first episode. It was the Little Froggy song.
You got to give it to us, Megan. You got to
It
let us know.
goes okay. It's really short. It goes gong gonk said the little Mr. Froggy. Gong gonk said the lady Froggy too. Gong gonk said them both together, and their eyes went woo woo woo, and they kissed
I
each
love it.
other just like little froggies do. And he said goodbye, and she said, "Oh my, gong gong, I'm coming too." Well, my camera's weird.
I love it. I love it.
This
I
way,
love
no, this way.
it. I love it. So, what's your target audience?
Kids
Wait.
ages 8 and younger.
Okay.
Some of the episodes are geared towards more younger kids, and some
Okay.
of them are geared towards the more 5 to 8 year old range.
Okay. So
But there's a variety.
I think that's my issue, to come up with a one subject. I'm all over the place. I'm doing everything,
Hmm.
and so it gets hard to just narrow stuff down. So kudos to you for that. What type of feedback have you been getting for your YouTube channel?
I've been getting, I've been getting a lot of nice comments.
I love it.
Um, I wish I could read some of them to you, but
Again, we can. You
some of
can.
them, there's some bad comments,
Of course.
but then there's other people who step up for you and say, don't listen to the haters. They don't know what they're talking about. You go, girl. Stuff like that.
Indeed. I'll give you time to
So
pick some up.
it's a,
Curious.
there's a mixture of like good, encouraging, positive comments and the negative ones. But then even the negative ones aren't that bad. They're just people who maybe had a bad day that day, and you know,
Because we do know everything not for everybody, and not
like
everybody.
it reflects on them, not me.
Indeed,
That's how
indeed.
I think about it.
I love it. Yeah, because everybody's not gonna be on board with what we, chose to put out there. So
Hmm.
it's good that you handle that with good grace, with a
But
positive attitude.
I've had a lot of good feedback in just having conversations with people like you on these different podcasts that I've been on the last couple months. I've had a lot of positive feedback from people like that.
Yeah, because I prior to me, of course, booking you, I went and looked at some of your stuff, and I thought it was cute, for
Hmm.
the age bracket that you are targeting. So
Thank
yeah,
you.
I enjoyed it. It was cute, and
Hmm.
I laughed at a couple things, and yeah, it was entertaining. So I got a couple bonus questions that I just like to ask my guests, kind of like off topic, just to get a better insight on who you are. So the first question would be, if you could be any superhero, who would you pick and why?
Uh, Captain America. He's my favorite superhero.
And can you tell us, for the ones who know nothing about Captain America, can you give us some of his traits?
He is. He was injected with a serum that made him really strong and made him grow big muscles and made him really fast and really strong. And he was a soldier in the army, in the real army.
I didn't know that.
Well, I mean, he's a fictional character, but um, that he his rank in the army was actually captain.
Okay.
That's why they call him Captain America, because he was like the poster boy for the army. He went to all the USO shows and all the, they used to sing and dance and do performances for the soldiers. And he did that for a while. And then he's there was a mission in World War II, and he saved the day and he saved the world as a real soldier for the mission, for the important mission. And then he flew in an airplane across the Atlantic Ocean. He was going to America from Europe, and his plane crashed in the ice, and he was frozen in the ice, like in Greenland or somewhere, in a glacier, for like 70 years. And he woke up, and suddenly it's the year 2003 because um, people found his plane stuck in the ice like 70 years later, and they found them and they brought him to the hospital. And then he woke up and he's like, what's going on? And then he met this man named Nick Fury, who's played by Samuel L. Jackson in the Avengers movies. And he and then he became a superhero, Captain America, for a couple years, and then they formed the Avengers. The Avengers has Thor, the Incredible Hulk, um, this what is her name? The Scarlett Johansson character, I don't remember. Black Widow.
Okay.
And then there's Iron Man, played by Robert Downey Jr. And that was the original Avengers. And then it's a long story.
Okay.
You just need to watch all the Marvel movies to understand.
So, um, Captain America as opposed to anybody else. Why him?
But
Why?
he's just my favorite because he was just a regular person. Like, he wasn't born with any superpowers. Like, and he was a genuinely good person. That's why he used to be like this little short skinny guy with no muscles and nerdy kind of looking guy, but he really wanted to be in the army, and he kept getting rejected for the health exam, and they wouldn't let him be in the army, like during World War II.
Got it. So
And but he was just a really genuinely good, kind, decent person, and that's why they chose him to be injected with the super serum to become Captain America.
wow.
They were going to use the serum to create like an army of super soldiers, like he wasn't going to be the only one, but then like the rest of the serum got destroyed and he was the only one. Bef- Before they could give it to anybody else, he was the first one.
So let me ask you this: what are your future goals in regards to your to everything that you've got going, to your podcast, to your stage plays, to your to all of your stuff? Where do you want to see yourself?
Well, as far as the Aunt Nene show, the big lifetime dream is to have a hit show on a network like PBS and be like as popular as Mr. Rogers or Sesame Street.
Wow.
The 5-year plan is to get enough views. I already have enough subscribers to be monetized,
How many
but
subscribers do you got to
the
have to be monetized?
500.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that.
But then there's two other requirements that you have to meet. You have to have either 3 million views or 3,000 total watch hours.
Wow.
And I haven't met either one of those requirements yet, so I'm not monetized yet.
Got it.
But the 5-year plan is to get monetized and start making a modest living and hopefully move back to New York City within the next few years.
So New York City is expensive. I went there for vacation and
Yeah, that's why I need to start making money before I can move back there.
yeah, seriously, I rented a hotel and oh my gosh, it was like a box and it was
Hmm.
expensive. I'm like, oh geez. So that brings me to my next question. If someone said, "Hey Megan, I have $50,000 for you, but I need you to tell me what you're gonna do with it."
Hmm. I always said that if I acquired a lot of money all of a sudden, I would give some of it to Camp Kiwanis Girl Scout Camp, the summer camp that I was a counselor and camper at for
Nice.
many years. But I think I would give mm, maybe $15,000 to the Girl Scout. No, $10,000 to the Girl Scouts,
Okay.
$5,000 to the local food bank
That's
in my
15.
hometown. That's 15. And then I would use the rest to move back to New York and just get a decent, modest apartment and pay my rent for as long as until the money ran out. And just, I wouldn't have to have a job because I could live off of the, how much is it? The rest, $35,000 for a while. So I would just go to auditions and pay my rent and do whatever I wanted to do and not have to have a day job. And hopefully, I would get an acting job in theater, TV, or film and start working in that again as well. But even if I did get like a big role in a movie or something and became a famous movie star, I would still do the Aunt Nene show. I'm not going to stop
Good.
making the Aunt Nene show. So
Wow. That's
that's
awesome.
what I would do.
I think you might have answered this question earlier, but I just wanted to bring it back to light. How many episodes have you done with the Aunt Nene show?
It's between 40 to 50 episodes.
Wow.
Um, I don't really keep track of the number of episodes I've done so far. However, the it's at least 40, maybe closer to 50.
Nice. Nice, nice, nice. What advice would you give someone that's trying to start a YouTube channel?
Um, Well, first of all, you don't have to have a lot of fancy equipment to be a content creator. Like I started out with just my mom or dad holding my iPad, using my iPad for the camera, just in the living room against the wall.
Okay,
And um second of all, just have fun and don't give up on your dreams, because the ones who give up on their dreams are the ones who never make it.
great advice. I love it. I love it. I love it. If you could visit any place in the world, where would it be?
Mm, Ireland,
Why?
that's where my ancestors are from, and I've
Nice.
always wanted to go there.
Have you ever been?
No.
Okay. Nice. I love it. I love it. I love it. So what's the big hype about New York?
Um,
Why do you like New York so?
I just the reason I moved to New York to pursue acting instead of like LA or Atlanta or somewhere else was because New York is where Broadway is, and I was most interested in being a theater actor on stage rather than screen, but also because I it's like they say, I love New York. I just fell in love with the city, and there's so much stuff to do there, and you can see Broadway plays, or there's so many good restaurants, there's so many parks, and there's Coney Island, and they have a zoo.
Oh wow.
and and I think the people are actually nice most of the time.
Okay.
Some people don't. But I visited New York for the first time in 2006
Hmm.
with my college theater group, and ever since then I fell in love with it, and I knew that I was going to live there one day. And then in 2012, which was a couple years after I graduated college, I moved there. And I lived there for 6 years, so I moved back home to Alabama in 2018.
Nice, nice, nice.
Mhm.
If you can meet any famous person, who would you want to meet and why?
Mm, Lady Gaga. I
Really?
just think she's so interesting and cool and fun, and we could be best friends.
Nice, nice, nice. If you could, if you had a chance to act on stage or be in a play with someone famous, who would it be?
Um, hmm, with someone famous. Oh, Bernadette Peters.
I don't know who she
She's
is.
she's a um she's a famous Broadway actress. She's known mostly for her work on Broadway.
Okay.
She Let me think of a movie she was in. Have you ever seen the old Annie movie from the 1970s?
Yep. I seen her.
She played the lady with the curly blonde hair who was the
Hmm.
wife of the rooster, Miss Hannigan's friend,
Oh wow.
the blonde lady. She was in that with
Wow.
Carol Burnett.
Awesome.
Never mind.
So how old is she then? If she's
She's in her 70s, I think,
thinking.
but she's still going. She's still doing stuff.
Oh, that's awesome. So I'm going to take a brief break and show. Remember, I told you I have a youth organization called Heavily Sent Youth, and I'm going to show you a little. What is this? A little video commercial that we did. So here goes.
Okay.
My name is Cynthia Manuel. I was born in Chicago, and I am proud to be able to raise my son in Chicago. I work with inner city youth to show them different things outside of their neighborhoods. When these kids walk onto the farm, it makes them feel like they are free. I want these kids to know how to give back, and recycling is one of those ways.
Hmm.
So you mentioned zoo, right? So
That's so cool.
During the pandemic, I went and purchased a horse, a real live horse. People like, oh, a horse. Purchased a real life horse, and I wanted to expose inner city kids to that life. And so it's awesome. I named the horse Chance. He gave me a chance, and I gave him a chance.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm in Chicago. I work with inner city inner city kids from the west and south sides of Chicago, underserved, underprivileged. And so every day I'm trying to find ways to expose them to different, as I keep reiterating, because, we live in food deserts. There's, a lot of violence and not a lot of resources. And sometimes the kids got to pick between getting something to eat or,
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
yeah, exactly. So yeah, it's pretty tough and emotional at times talking about the kids, and so I just thank God for giving me the energy and the courage and the resources to be able to provide such things as that with the kids. So when you said kids and you said zoo, I was like, that's
Mm.
the connection because I love animals.
That's funny because I like to do all the kid stuff in New York City, like go to Coney Island and go to the zoo and go to the park and you know, go swimming at the beach.
So I have someone ask the question. This is Miss Beck BECK. Thank you for tuning in. She says, I am going to, let's see what she says. I am going to be DJing on YouTube. Would you say that's a good idea?
Yeah, I'd say go for it. Just I'm reading the comment right now.
Sure.
I would say that's absolutely a good idea and you should do it.
I agree. So, are there any type of restrictions on YouTube that you know of? Because on Facebook, you get banned
Um
for a lot of stuff.
like if your video is like when you post a video to YouTube, there's a thing at the end where you have to click before you publish it.
Uh-huh.
Is it made for kids? And you have to click yes, it's made for kids, or no, it's not made for kids.
Really?
And
Okay.
all of my Aunt Nene videos, I click yes, it's made for kids. And then that places certain, like if your video is rated R or above, then they definitely have certain restrictions that they would place on a video like that if it has any type of adult content or adult language or anything. I'm not sure actually, but I know that they make you choose, is it for kids or is it not for kids?
Got it. Yeah, because I always wondered about that because I know it sounds like there's more monetization on YouTube as opposed to Facebook now.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's because of oversaturation or it's just the way that they got things set up, and maybe they got more money to give out.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting.
I'm still trying to figure out the monetization thing.
So, are you not on any of the other platforms? Because I know there's something called Stitch, and I've been seeing a lot of people.
I've never heard of that.
Yeah, check that out. That's another platform
Okay.
to look at to get some stuff on. Anything else for the people?
Just remember that the name of my YouTube channel is my name, Megan Claire Murphy, and the number 2. That's Megan Claire Murphy 2. And you can also find me on Facebook under the name Megan Claire Murphy. If anybody wants to contact me, they can send me a message on Facebook or comment on my YouTube channel.
Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Um, my nephew, my mom, my dad, my brother, my sister-in-law, my producers, um, my grandma who's in the nursing home, Granny, um, and all my friends and family.
All righty. Well, thank you so much, Miss Megan. It's been a pleasure talking to you. And before you go, forgot I had to put our I don't know what's going on my mind. I forgot to put our video, copyright video. So here goes.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory through Christ, WVTC Allsip Chicago, and iNetworks Communication Station.
Gotta make sure we put our disclaimer out there. We don't want anyone to say, hey, Megan said this, Megan said that.
Yeah. I don't want that either.
Right. So as I was saying before I played that, is there anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Want me to say it again?
Sure.
My mom, my dad, my nephew, my brother, my sister-in-law, my granny who's in the nursing home, all my family and friends, my producers, my publicist.
Just in case they just in case someone say we didn't hear it, I wanted you to say it again.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
And all the kids out there who maybe not having a good day, it's going to be okay.
Well, Megan,
I'll be here with you.
It's a pleasure. So I'll be following you on YouTube. And thank you again for your time.
Thank you so much.
All righty.
Bye, everybody.
Go to your Apple or Google Play Store and download the WVTC Gospel Radio app today. You can also say, Alexa, play WVTC Radio Skills.
Would you like to play WVTC Radio Network?
Absolutely. Download it today.
Views made on the preceding program are not those of WVTC Radio, iNetworks Communications, or their financial supporters.
Winning victory.